This is The Filter on iHeart Podcasts Canada.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Are you in Europe right now?
I'm in a car heading to the show in Munich, Germany.
Wow. That is amazing. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I have to fangirl at the beginning because, when every single one of my friends, when we're in a group and everyone's like, what's your first concert? Everyone's like, New Kids. And I'm like, Bryan Adams, guys, Bryan Adams. So this is the first time I've ever had a chance to talk to you. And it's such a privilege. So thank you
Thanks,
so
Josie.
much. Thank you. We have lots to get to where I'm going to go quick because you have some really, really exciting news. Bryan Adams Radio is streaming on iHeartRadio 24/7. How did this come about?
My friend Randy in Toronto suggested it, and so he got in touch with iHeart, and iHeart thought it was a good idea, and here we are.
And here we are. Well, I always, as a broadcaster, I always think that, the best broadcasters are musicians because you're a storyteller, right? You're a storyteller. That's what you do for a living.
Yeah, I suppose so. Songs are kind of stories. I think radio personalities, people that do that, it's a real craft. It's a real skill, and so I'll do my best.
Well, we're really excited, and we don't even care if you do half of your best. Like, we'll be cool with whatever you give us. I feel like that's really what the mentality is going to be like all across Canada. You are, to me, you're a mystery, and I know that you aren't a mystery to everybody. But you've done so well in so many different things. Like whether it's a photographer, you're a social activist. You write iconic songs. Where do you get the time?
Does that make you a mystery?
You are a mystery because I guess what I was going to say is you're a mystery because I just don't know how one person is so successful at so many things. So I want you to give me the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love what I do, and I don't go into things halfway. So if I decided I wanted to be a gardener, I'd get really into it and be a good gardener. And I would learn and be open to ideas and try to, figure out the best way of doing that. And so I guess early on when we were doing, back in the days when I was playing clubs, and I remember I was talking to the guitar player in my band at the time, and I said, we got to get out of these clubs. This is just not happening. And he says, well, what do you suggest? I said, we got to write our own music. And that's the way to do it. He says, yeah, good idea. You do it. And so I did.
You just were like, I'm just going to write a song and it's going to work.
Well, I didn't know if it was going to work. And all the early songs that I wrote were pretty bad, but, and in fact, most of them, it's just every now and then you get something that's pretty good. So, there's this saying that it's easy to write songs. It's just hard to write good ones.
Well, and of course, now we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Reckless, and it's a good time to jump into that. All of the songs on that album are incredible. Obviously, there's one that sticks out to me, and I'm sure it does to you as well, which is Summer of '69. Mm. And I feel like that song has almost become an anthem for fun. Like it's his turn. And how did you know that song, or did you know that song would blow up the way it did?
Well, I didn't. And it did okay when it first came out, but it sort of came and went. And then in the 90s, it had kind of a resurgence. And what happened was there was a DJ in Holland or the Netherlands that decided to take it on, and he made it a number one record. It never charted in anywhere else in Europe or outside of the world, but that moment ended up being a catalyst for it, and it just grew and grew and grew. And I think I think time has been the beautiful thing for that song, because it's taken 40 years to be where it is today.
Oh, So, so you think it's taken its time? You know, everyone thinks they have a cycle, right? It's like, hey, I get the song out, I got to get it on the charts and then I'm going to move on to the next song. But it didn't really happen that way with this song.
I don't even know what the chart position was in Canada for it. And I think it did okay, but it wasn't a number one record. And, you know, but you can't go to any bar anywhere now and not hear that song. It's taken off a life of its own. And so I would never have expected that.
On the streaming site, the Bryan Adams Radio show, are you going to be playing music from other artists other than just yourself?
Yes, I've done 4 programs already, and over half of the show is other people's music, and a lot of it's, you know, long hair, hairy rock bands, which is kind of what I love. And so you'll recognize all the songs. They're all hit songs, but it's quite a diverse selection of music, mostly rock.
Now, do you get to tell stories from, obviously, like, I mean, you've probably been around so many musicians. This is your life, right?
Yes,
so you've got,
I mean, some of it's there are some stories in there. And of course, the more I get used to doing this, the better I'll get at it. But like I say, it's a skill. I'm still working it out.
Now, you're not here in Canada right now.
No, I'm in a car. I'm in a car in Germany.
In Munich. That doesn't mean, though, that you don't miss us. And
I do miss you.
I know you do. You have to, because it's Canada. But if you were going to tell us like one place, now you grew up in Ottawa, but one place that you really miss here in Canada, what place would that be?
Well, right now it's I miss Vancouver because my ma's there. She's 96, and I try to spend as much time with her. Luckily, she's learned how to FaceTime, so I can FaceTime with her and every day or whenever she wants. But I kind of would like to be there more with her right now.
Well, we miss you. We absolutely miss you. Also, we have to add that we are covering a special that's going to take place, Reckless Live at Royal Albert Hall, November 9th at noon. And we want everyone to watch it. What can people expect from this special? Well,
it's one night out of 3 nights we played there this year. And it was special because I wanted to get, it's because it's the 40th anniversary of the record. I wanted to be in somewhere special. So we chose the Royal Albert Hall because it's such an iconic venue and the crowd's right next to you. So you'll see when you see it. It's basically 360. Everyone's right around the whole stage.
Do you do this often, record your shows? I think I've seen one before, but I don't know if like you're doing this for, yeah. So you're used to
I've recorded 6 albums in the last 2 years live. And what's really exciting also is not only is this coming out November 9th in Canada, but it's also coming out on my own record label. I started a record label. Am I crazy? It's called
No, you're not.
It's called
Bad,
it's called Bad Records, and which is an anagram from my name, Badams. And so I'm just having a lot of fun and trying to create interesting bits of content which the label can put out.
Have you done you said you've done 4 shows already. Have you like the radio shows? Because we start streaming, I guess it's now today because it's going to be tomorrow. Right. Can you give us a little taste of some of the content that you've done on the show?
You mean what songs are on there?
Yeah. And if you've told any stories.
No, you got it.
No, what? No.
You got to listen to the show.
Okay. So nothing. You're giving us nothing.
No, you got to listen to the show.
Okay. All right. Well, we are really excited. Thank you so much for talking to us. Munich, one of my favorite places in Germany. I love it. So it's so great. Have an amazing time tonight. And we're really excited about this streaming channel.
Thanks, Josie.
Awesome. Thanks, Bryan.
Thanks for listening to The Filter, an iHeart Podcasts Canada production. Subscribe to The Filter wherever you get your podcasts.